Alright, so for this video, it's quite similar to the last one, like just a bunch of notes app shower thoughts kind of, but kind of like deeper, like I put more thought into them. Um this it's about kind of problems and kind of the pursuit of getting rid of all your problems. And it's kind of like the paradox of why problems will never go away, even though we don't really think about it, but when we do think about it, we're trying to get rid of the problems we have just to get more problems. So it's kind of like, as long as you're alive, you will face some set of problems. Solving one just generates another, and then the nature of problems shifts with your circumstances, not the actual existence of problems. Um, so it's kind of just a law where problems don't disappear; they transform. Um, it's really recognized through Stoicism and Buddhism and modern psychology is just some other areas that have recognized it too. It's kind of like getting perspectives, like the perspective on your problems, which is kind of a way, like people think if they get perspective on their problems, they can live with them because they can understand them. And it's less perspective than more acceptance, where getting perspective on your problems actually solve them in a way. So it's kind of just makes new problems, usually existential problems, which is where like people have midlife crises, existential crises, because they have finally gained perspective on their problems, and now it just creates new one, which is the existential crisis. And it's kind of like it shows the futility of trying to fix everything, and kind of like how infinite problems become when you view them philosophically. So perspective can calm emotional turbulence, but it also enlarges intellectual turbulence, like more problems in the mind now. And this is why no philosophy really encourages zooming out. Like they all encourage seeing things from their perspective, but not fully zooming out till the point you get in an existential crisis. Choosing, I think it's really about choosing your problems. It's a real idea, but it's not the way people usually think of it. So, like a lot of traditions do this. Stoicism, where you can't control external problems, but you can control your inner problems, and existentialism, where it's like you can create meaning by deciding which problems to commit to, and commitment itself becomes the antidote to like the problems, and not as like an antidote, but yeah, like existentially. That's just existentialism, so it's very broad. Buddhism, where suffering is unavoidable, but the key is choosing which attachments you're willing to keep, so which problems you're willing to stick with. And with modern psychology, it's very, you don't choose having problems, but you choose the values that make certain problems worth bearing, which I think that one probably hits closer to home for most people. So you don't get to choose having problems. There will always be problems, but you get to choose the ones, you choose the values that come with the problems worth bearing to have those values. And another big one is acceptance the same as stagnation? If I accept my problems, am I just stop growing because we grow from our hardships? And no, the distinction is resignation and acceptance, because resignation is these problems are unavoidable, nothing matters, I withdraw from them. And then acceptance is these problems are unavoidable, I will intentionally choose the ones that shape me. So it's very it's not less perspective and more choice orientated. The next point is kind of a larger perspective on it. Like, if you look at the human life in a large scale, kind of a strange truth appears. So problems are how humans orientate themselves into the actual world. Like choosing a career choosing a career is choosing problems. Choosing a relationship is choosing problems. Choosing to be an artist is choosing problems. Choosing to be a parent is choosing problems. And just being alone is just gives you different problems. Not choosing anything, not choosing stuff is a choice. And your life is shaped less and less by pleasures you pursue and more by problems you tolerate. So the question isn't how do I live without problems and will my success take me to somewhere without problems? It's more which problems generate the kind of person and world I want, you know? A big paradox is we need perspective to navigate problems. Perspective generates new problems. So do we seek perspective to avoid it? Because a lot of this choosing the problems comes with a lot of thinking and comes with perspective. The solution isn't to break the loop, it's to understand the loop is human consciousness. Animals have circumstances, humans have problems, because we have perspectives. Philosophy doesn't eliminate this cycle, it makes this cycle livable, so you can have a general understanding of it. The answer is summarized. To simply put, problems are permanent. Perspectives transform your relationships to problems. It transforms your relationship to problems, so how you see it, how you interact with your problems. It doesn't remove the existence of them. And accepting problems doesn't stop growth, it directs growth. It puts your growth on a path that you're okay with. And the goal isn't to eliminate problems, it's to choose the set of problems that align with your values, identity, vision of success and a good life that you're aiming for. Because every meaningful path includes a burden. Meaning comes from choosing your burden. So it's very out there. But in total, it's just like it's an important part, because especially if you're in your younger years and you have a very good and bad mindset where it's like, ooh, pleasure is good, going for my goals is good, and maybe you've discerned between good and bad pleasure, but you haven't really got into the problems. You just have that mindset that you've been passed down where problems are bad, but it's a good shift in how you approach your choices and how you approach putting who you are into your life and your actions. It's important to, I'd say it's definitely important to achieving success and living a fulfilled and happy life. But yeah, that was a lot of yapping. I think there's something that could be taken away from that. I don't know if I properly put it across, but yeah. Other than that, just got back from the gym, feeling a lot better lately. Making videos again and working out really gets the blood flowing to my brain and makes me feel a lot better. I'm still raising money for my travels. I actually some good news. I just got a email back for a job where I would go around and do marketing for, not marketing, but kind of marketing management for a bunch of company that manages products for tech companies, which would be cool because I'd get to keep good relations with customers and a lot of travel, which would be ideal for me because I really want to. yeah, so they said I just have to do my references, and then in a few weeks they'll fly me up to another city, I think Auckland, Wellington, or Christchurch, and they're gonna do my kind of entry where I tag along with someone who's doing the job for a couple of weeks and kind of get a feel for it. And then I come back down here and I do it. It's really awesome because I've never had like a super proper job. Like I waited tables for a while and I worked on a farm. That was my parents, so it wasn't really a job, but this is my first proper job, and it's an actual job that I would enjoy doing and possibly turn into a career. Like, it's kind of like, as I was saying, the problems that would come with this job is problems that I could accept because they align with me. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. The digital currency stuff that I was doing I'm gonna slow it down a bit, just because it's a lot of stress, and those are the kind of and the problems it gives me, they are not problems I can accept, and they don't align with me, so generally not those. But yeah, it's cool that these documentations are getting longer. The date is the 15th of November 2025. And yeah, that is the end of the video.